Hey guys, this is Lil with another raid video. I know it's been a long time. Apologies for that. I'll be honest, I didn't really intend to make any more videos. Just work got super busy. I've got a young family, 2 kids, and to be honest, between work and a family and playing raid, just as soon as work gets busy, I just don't have the time to record YouTube videos. I sort of, there's only a few hundred people subscribed, so it's a lot of time and effort for the few people that want to watch. I do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun, like learning to make videos and stuff, and doing them. But it's just when work is busy, something has to give. And unfortunately for me, that's YouTube. Like if it had taken off and I had thousands of subscribers, that might be different. Today, somebody in the clan asked for 2 guides, one on RSL Helper and one on the Hell Hades Optimiser for sort of people who had just never used it and found it a bit daunting. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to run you through how to install it on mobile and on desktop, and then we'll run through some of the capabilities, how you go about building champs with the optimizer, and we'll just run through some of the options, and I'm going to try and keep it not too long, but we've got a lot to get through. So without further ado, we'll cut over and we'll first talk about mobile and then we'll talk about desktop. Okay, so you'll forgive me, I'm using BlueStacks just to show you how this works on mobile. So BlueStacks is essentially an Android mobile device. This is my free-to-play account, so you'll see more of that when we get onto RSL Helper. So if I open my browser, which I already have, go to hellhades.com, and then just from the menu go to Optimizer. You get asked to log in. I logged in already because I had to go and update the browser and stuff. I've only done this once, so forgive me. I'm also on the wrong side, so apologies, I'm sort of in the way there. What you want is I can move myself. Oh, that's not me. That's the browser. Here we go. What you want is that side. Yeah. Import your raid account. That's when you're on mobile, you see this button. You won't see this button if you're not on mobile. So import your raid account, and it asks you to log in with your raid login. Yeah, so that's not your hellhades.com login. So I'm going to do that now. In fact, oh, my head's in the way anyway, so that's fine. In fact, I will just cut back to my face while I log in. So it's, and because I've got MFA set up, it wants my authorization code as well, which I do have set up on the free-to-play account as well. So we'll put that code in. It just asks my email, password, and authentication. It's queued me. Now I'll flip back so you guys can see. Here we go, and I'll move me back over here. So I'm queued. Your request is currently queued for processing. Yeah, so I'm just in a queue to download my my account's data. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't done this on my free-to-play account for ages. I haven't played my free account for ages. I just sort of picked it up again recently. Here we go. It's completed. And here we go. So this is my free-to-play account, and it's now got all my new champs. I'm trying to think who would be new since I last did this. Well, in fact, yeah, here we go. So Iron Gut's new. I pulled him recently on my free-to-play. I'd love him on my main. This is the problem with a free-to-play account. So now, as a mobile user, I've got access, yeah, and I'm in a browser. Obviously, when this is a narrower browser, the format sort of changes a little bit and this sidebar drops off. But that's how you get your characters into the optimizer and your gear into the optimizer as a mobile user. I'm now going to flip back and we're going to do exactly the same on the desktop. There we go. So I'm going to get rid of BlueStacks. I've already logged into my account here. Now, in fact, so here we go. So we go to, let me just flip you onto a browser, okay? There we go. So we go to hellhades.com and then you go to Optimizer. I've got it bookmarked. So the first time you come, you'll see Download Extractor. You download that and it will install a little application on your PC. And I'm going to show you that now. So here it is, Hell Hades Artifact Extractor. We'll run that. I've already logged in, so it's going to automatically log me in. You just put in your Hell Hades account details into there. So you need an account with Hell Hades to use the optimizer at all, but that can be a totally free. It's free to make an account. There are different subscription levels, but the basic one is totally free. I've also got live update ticked, so as soon as I do anything in the game, like as soon as I do a dragon run, it'll update my artifacts to show the drop that I got. Okay, so now I can play my game and it'll bring in all my artifacts. So let's have a look. Who's new since I ran the optimizer? I probably got the guaranteed dude, yeah, here. So I thought it might be fun to build him today. He's got no gear on at the moment. I just booked him in CVC. He swallowed all my books in his A1, which is very annoying because Rathalos is exactly the same. I had loads of books and suddenly A1's just swallowed all my books. So I'm going to cut over to the browser now and we're going to just go into the optimizer in the browser. Oh, we would if the browser was here. Hold on. There we go. Let me move myself back as well. There we go. Okay, so we come to hellhades.com. We've now downloaded the extractor. We've got the extractor running still, and the game is running. Now, there are different ways that you can optimize your... So this is what you'll see when you sort of first go in. And you can see your champions, your artifacts, your teams, team optimizer, and then a few other bits and bobs. Now, what we're interested in is my champs. I want to build someone. I'll just reset this filter. So here's a list of all my champs, yeah, and they're organized like they are in the game, according to sort of awakenings and +1s and +2s and whatnot. Now, there are a few... I should have left myself over the other side, shouldn't I? Because all the menus and stuff are over that side. There we go. So from here, you can do a few things. The first one is you can search for your characters. So, you know, I was looking at one of my Hydra teams yesterday, and what I really wanted was somebody who had increased speed. I'm always lacking people with increased speed. Increased speed, but an increased speed that's on your whole team. What I'd really like is, let's say, somebody who's got increased speed and has got decreased defense. Maybe that's what I'm missing in my Hydra team. Yeah, so there we go. Now you can see I might need to remove all allies because that's not going to work. Now you can see who's got increased speed and decreased defense. Or I might say, you know what, I'm only interested in the decreased defense, and I'm only interested in where that is on all enemies, not on a single enemy. So it's really good. Really good for sort of helping you find people. The other thing that's worth mentioning at this point is you can see the little locks on the side here. You can lock people so that the optimizer won't steal gear off them. You can change it in all the settings for whether or not you want to steal gear from different people. You can have different numbers. You can just go locks, or you can have like 1 locks, 2 locks, 3 locks for different. So what I do is like all the 2s are my, in fact, Rotus, you should be a 2. All the 2s are my savage and lethal nukers. Yeah, so I know if I'm building a nuker, I can steal from, let's say, anyone who isn't a number 2. Yeah, unless, let's say, I've decided I pull. Where is he? Where's Taras? Here we go. I pulled Taras. You should also be a 2, Taras. I've pulled Taras, and I want to steal my best savage gear. So I say, build me a Taras, high damage, and you can steal gear from anyone who's a 2, because what I want is him now to be my main nuker. Okay. Anyway, so let's pick. Who did we want to build? I can't even remember now. It was Alatreon, wasn't it? Here we go. So, and this tells us all about him. You know, you can. Oh, it's scrolled off the bottom a little bit. I'm going to say yes. Presume that he's max level and all his stats are maxed. And you can see, okay, here's his skills and where your books are. I actually was doing this yesterday, and I figured out that I was missing a book off my Sisia, which I didn't know. I was missing a book off her A2. You can see their masteries. He's got none because I haven't given him any. And I can see what he's wearing, which is nothing. So what I want to do is, so I can swap gear on him. So I can just come in here and I can just pick gear, and I can just add it to him. And I could do stuff like, you know, show me the gear and arrange it by the fastest gear. And then arrange it by, I wouldn't, but you could say crit rate, let's say health percent. I want him to have high HP and high speed. And I go, okay, I'm going to steal it from, you should be locked. I'm going to steal it from there. Yeah. I'm not going to do that, because what I want to do is just have the optimizer go through all my gear and find the best stuff. So there are 2 different ways to run it. There's actually 3, but I don't get the option here. Oh no, I do, sorry. So I can go brute force, which will sort of run it if I was running it, let's say, on a laptop or something, not a gaming computer. If I'm running it on a gaming machine with a good graphics card, then I want to do GPU, because that will run it faster. That will cycle through more things, give me more build options. GPU Optimiser is the best one. Then you go brute force. If you want, you can also go remote, which will basically use Hell Hades servers to do it. So that's what you do when you're running it on a mobile, is you do the remote. And, okay, so what are we building this guy for? So there's 3 different modes down at the bottom here. Balance mode is you pick the stat priorities. Damage mode, anyone you're building with damage. And you get to pick, okay, you know, which skill do I want to prioritize the damage on, or just overall, or survivability. And so that will meet any stat requirements that you give and then build survivability. I'm just going to go with balanced. It's a pretty basic mode. I haven't got any, you can pretty much ignore the presets. Config, this is where you're saying, okay, do you want to look at every artifact even if you haven't leveled it, or do you only want to look at stuff that's level 8, which is typically, because at least then you've got a couple of rolls gone somewhere. Do you want to look at equipped? And this is where you're getting into those locks. So do you want to look at stuff, look at everything regardless of lock, or do you want to say, get me stuff that's on people but exclude those nukers? Yeah, I don't want to steal from those nukers. And do you know what? For me, the priority 1 is like some of my best builds. Let's say my Mischief tanks in Hydra. Maybe it's my Clan Boss team. I don't want to touch them either. Tier 5s, that's fine. That's what I use personally. This is Clan Boss team, speed tuned teams. This is my nukers. And 5 is just, I'm happy with this build. I don't want to adjust it. Now, our Alatreon has no masteries at the moment. I am going to give him masteries, and so down here it can plug these into. I can actually manually plug these in. So let's say I'm going to give him. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably go more like this. And so here you can. So the next tab is battle. And you can pick where are you going to be fighting, and it will add the area bonuses for that area. So if I say where I'm going to use him is Hydra, so I'm going to go down, I'm going to pick Hydra, I'm just going to pick a rotation at random. I'm going to use him in my brutal team, and this is there a destruction head, because that changes the defense. buffs and debuffs that I'm going to presume that they've got. Again, for somebody who's a support, it doesn't make a big difference, but if this was my damage dealer, I'm going, presume that you've got decreased defense, and presume that you've got increased attack, and maybe you've got increased defense as well. Next you go to your stats, and this is where you get to actually pick. So, you know, I would want this guy for brutal to be a minimum of 240 speed. I would say speed is the #1 priority. Then I would say, did he have any debuffs? I honestly can't remember. Nope, no debuffs. So he doesn't need any accuracy, which is great. So in fact, what I'll probably do then for him is just go, instead of going a balanced, I'll go survivability. And then I'll say 240 speed, and the rest he can just be survivable. I think, yes, because he did a heal based on his max, or was it a shield based on his max HP? Let me have a look. Yeah, shield equal to 30% of this champ's max HP, so we want to push his HP. So what I could do is go balance mode, and make HP priority 2. Oh, wrong way around, sorry. Higher is priority, so we would go 6 for speed and 5 for HP. I always get that the wrong way around for some reason. And then I go, right, do I want to max out his artifact ascension on the gear? Let's say yes. And here I get to say, okay, which slots do you want to include? And then I can also say, now that we've got dust, and this is new in the optimizer, okay, gloves, presume that I'm going to use dust until I hit health. The same with chest, and boots, presume that I'm going to keep using dust until I hit a speed ascension roll. You can also turn things off, yeah, so I could say, do you know what, I really want him to be in speed boots, or I really don't want you to give him an accuracy banner because he doesn't need accuracy. So you can just tick those on and off. And then you can say, okay, do you want to include or exclude some sets from this? Like, let's say I don't want him to accidentally use some of my savage gear just because it has stats that he might like. And you can say, I want him in a specific set. So, yeah, what I'd really like him in is 9-piece protection. Unfortunately, I know that I can't do that. Sorry, 6-piece protection. No, 9-piece, I was right. Unfortunately, I know that I don't have a protection accessory for night revs. So I'm going to say, let's go for Relentless. Yeah. I don't know if it's what I built him in the end, but it's a good example. So we'll go Relentless, 1. If I wanted another set with that, so a 2-piece like Immortal, then I could pick that there. I'm not going to. If I wanted him in some specific accessories, like maybe he's a mischief tank and I want at least 1 blood shield, I can pick that there. And then you can say glyphs. So this is, okay, how many glyphs do you have? What do you want to use? So I would usually go, okay, I can guarantee that I'm going to keep using speed glyphs until I get a 3. HP, maybe go 5%, defense 5%, accuracy doesn't need it all, we'll go 7 on the resist. Yeah, so I'm going to use a few glyphs on his build, and then I just come to the bottom and I go optimize, and again it gives you a summary of what it's looking for. This is how how much time and effort do you want me to spend on this? If you put it up to max, it'll find you the best possible build going through all of your gear, but it'll take a lot longer. I'm going to hit start, and we'll probably cut here, and I'll come back to you when we've got, oh, there we go, we found some builds really quickly. So it gives you the builds, and it gives you these little cards, or you can flip it and you can see it as a table. So I can see, okay, look, it's got him up to 300 speed, which is great. It's got him with 100k HP, which also looks good. He's got some, and you can see the EHP here, so, his effective health pool. So actually the second one's a little bit better. He's a tiny bit slower, but that's fine. So let's have a look. What's this build look like? You're stealing from my Ugo, which is probably not ideal. So I'd probably come back here to my config and say, actually, don't steal stuff from locked people. So now it'll only use some of my free gear that's not being worn by anybody who's locked. And again, it's already finished, and I can just go, okay, now it's dropped the speed down a little bit. That's okay, I don't mind that. So now I'm looking at, okay, do I want to be more around 290? I've still got 100k HP. I've still got a decent bit of defense. Or do I want to, or do I want to come down here where actually I can get above 300 speed, but the effective health drops a little bit? Yeah, and I would say, yeah, I'm happy stealing all of that gear, and then I can go and equip that in the optimizer. So it tells me, sorry, let me just stretch that out a little bit so it's easier to read. So here it's telling me, yeah, what's the stat difference that we're seeing? Yeah, we've added 101 speed, we've added 39 accuracy, and you can see, oh, sorry, my head's slightly in the way. You can also see down here the skills and how much damage each skill's going to do. So we'll do the same because it's a fun exercise with a nuker. So, I mean, I might keep this build, we'll see. So what I'm going to do here is let's just open a new tab. So if you want to keep one, you can do that. You can take a screenshot, it's totally up to you. So now let's build Rathalos. I built him recently. So let's say I put him in 4-piece Merciless, I think, if I remember rightly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So here he is. He's 223, 100% crit rate, 280 crit damage. Okay, and we can see if we go to skills, we can see how much damage each of those skills will do. Yeah, this is just raw damage, not taking into account the enemy's defense or anything. So if I go optimize, and it will load automatically the last settings that you had for this champion. Yeah, so last time I ran it a GPU, I ran it on a damage overall, and then my config was, yeah, exactly as it is. And I was running it against Brutal Hydra because, again, that's where I plan to use him. I'm actually probably going to use him on hard, but we'll see. And again, I've said, presume that they've got decreased defense and I've got increased attack. What I'd really like to do is run him with Lady Mikage, but I haven't pulled her yet, and then I can presume he's got increased crit damage as well. But for now, I'm turning off his A3. You can also, if you're using enemy max HP nukers, tick this button, and that says once you've reached the 10% threshold, prioritize other stats. So don't keep stacking more and more crit damage when it's not going to do anything for Husk's A2, for example, which I should do on my Husk. I haven't. Now this is a bit slow. What's he at now? 223. So I'm going to say, and this is a balance, yeah? I'm saying, right, actually I want him to be more like 230 speed, and I would normally say, okay, I want at least 200 crit damage. But I could leave all of these blank, and the damage config, the damage mode will just look for the best. So I don't need to tell it use Savage, use Merciless. If I wanted something like Relentless, then yeah, because that's not going to be the highest damage set. Something like here we go. So you can see I forced him into Merciless. Now, one thing that I did think about doing was running him in Relentless, which I'm still not sure if that might be the best option. So let's have a look at what we could do in Relentless. So we're going Relentless, 230 speed. I'm going to go a minimum of, for me, I still feel like 230 is the minimum crit damage that I would want on him. He doesn't need accuracy. Again, if he did, I could plug in those numbers. Glyphs, yep, I'm fine using those glyphs. And sets we already picked. And then I can just go optimize and start. This one will probably take a little bit longer. Oh, that was super quick. So you can see all of these I'm losing a little bit of damage, but I'm losing damage because at the moment he's in Merciless, but I'm only losing a tiny bit. Look at this, 700. Am I going to notice 700 off an A3 hit of 41k? Probably not. I'm going to notice 1,700, so this hitting for 91,800 as opposed to whatever it is, 93,000. Probably not. And you can see now we've got him 5.6k attack, 231 speed, 265 And I gotta be honest, I still might prefer this build. I thought somebody else was wearing that. Yeah, so, and here you can see, again, sorry, my head's in the way. So here you can see on the other side, whichever way it is, that way, you've got those skill damage breakdowns. So to get him into Relentless, I would be losing. I'm losing a little bit of health. I'm losing a little bit of defense. But other than that, I've lost a tiny bit of speed. And again, you can see his base speed here is 223, but it's saying he's only lost 4, which is because area bonuses. So do you know what? I would lose 2% damage on my Rathalos to put him into Relentless, which I would say is probably worth it. A good question is, what did we do with Artifact? Yeah, so we said gloves, leave them as they are. We're guaranteeing an attack chest, and we're guaranteeing attack or speed boots. I wonder what it wanted us to have on those. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it wanted us to have speed, and this one already had a crit rate roll. So I quite like that build. I might try it out. So that's building your champ, yeah. So your options are, you're picking a support type champ, in which case you want to say, right, I'm prioritizing survivability stats. I want a few, let's say, I'm doing Brutal Hydra, so I want a minimum of 350 accuracy and a maximum of 400. I don't want you to keep stacking accuracy once I feel like I've got enough. And then it will find gear that will meet those stats. Just in terms of other things, so obviously you've got your artifacts here, so if you want to see, let's say, everything that's got, you can go substat rolls, triple rolls, yeah, so triple rolls, I thought there was a way to look at triple rolls in a specific, but anyway, yeah, here you go, here's my triple rolls in speed and what have you, and then I can go sort them by the highest speed. I really wanted to exclude feet, but anyway, you get the idea. Here we go. I've got a triple speed here. Okay, so that's, you can go through your artifacts. Yeah, if you're sort of going, okay, look, I need a load of crit rate. Where can I get something that's got crit rate on it? You probably want to, exclude gloves. So you would do something like, I want a HP chest, slot chest. There we go. I want a HP chest that's got high crit rate substats. Here we go. Here's a lovely one. 60% triple rolling to crit rate. So teams. Sorry, I am trying to keep an eye on the time. So teams is the last teams that you used for something. So if I go spider, it will show me my spider team, and it shows me all of their stats, and it shows me all of their masteries, and you can do sharing links, and that will be either a single time snapshot of your account, or it can be an ongoing sort of live snapshot. It says that needs premium though, and so if you want to share your teams with somebody, like let's say Minnow, here you go. Team Optimiser is the most interesting and useful one to me, where you can go, okay, right, we are on rotation 4 now. Hydra rotation 4, I'm interested in brutal teams, find a team. Yeah, so really this is a team optimizer, so you can plug in whatever champs you want and you can prioritize their builds, and it lets you build an entire team of champs for a specific thing all in one go. What to me is way more useful is just find teams. And so this is, everybody who uses the optimizer, what teams are they running with your champs? So it filters everything down to only champs that you have. And then you could say, right, well, look, I'm into Hydra Clash, so I want a minimum on, did we say brutal? I think we did. I want a minimum of 100 million on brutal. And I'm not a fan of playing on manual, so I'm going to exclude manual teams. Yeah, and you can see a few different options here, like exclude used Hydra champs. You can say it must include, And you can also say it must exclude. So let's say I know my Morley is locked in my Nightmare team, so I want to exclude her. I might also want to exclude Razelvarg because he's in my hard team. Yeah, and then I can say, right, now show me my options. And it's got one of the Emic teams and this one. Interesting. Or you might say, do you know what, just look at everything and just see what's my best team. You can click on variations and it will show you if there are multiple people running the same team, and then you can view team and it will show you all the builds. I think this might be a premium feature, but it gives you all the stats and all the stat priorities that are set up for that team. You can add them to the optimizer, so if I add them, it'll plug all those champs in, and then I can again, this is the same sort of champ optimizer, just horizontally. So what do I want? I want him in a damage build, and then I want to, give him these stats, and then you can do that champ by champ, and then you hit the optimize at the end, and you prioritize them up and down. I have used this, it's good. To be honest, I kind of do them one at once, because usually it's just like I've pulled, let's say the archer. I've pulled the archer and I want to build her in, a damage mode with, with these stats. Okay, that's way longer than I intended, so I'm sorry. That, I hope, is a good overview of the optimizer and how to use it. You can use it to sort of go through your gear to build your champs. It gives your gear, ratings. Some of my gear here is weak, apparently, and I've still got it, so I should probably go through it at some point. Anyway, sorry guys, that is longer than I'd intended. There's a lot to cover when you start getting into the Hell Hades Optimizer and just sort of building your champs out. I hope that helps. It's the same process on the mobile, so you can do all the things that we went through. So you can pick a champ and you can find builds, or you can here we go. So again, I'm just back in that browser and I can just go, okay, do I want his masteries, find builds, and here we go. And now I can go, right, I want a damage mode build on him, and this is all available now that I've loaded my champs in to the mobile optimizer. I can say leave it general, which is what you would do for like arena. You can then say, actually, if I'm in arena, presume that it's a Duchess with 4,000 defense and 100k HP, and then you can just optimize that. And again, you get a set amount of tokens per week. I can't remember how many tokens it takes to actually run an optimization, but they reset every week. So I seem to remember it being pretty generous when Hell Hades introduced it. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry because I've talked again, and now the video's even longer. I hope this was helpful. The optimizer is really powerful. I'll be honest, like it's really easy just to spend hour after hour like running, oh, and what if I tweaked this? Can I get a little bit more speed out of that champ if I just tweaked it this way? Anyway, I hope that's broken down the optimizer in a way that's easy to follow, whether you're on mobile or whether you're on desktop. The next video will be RSL Helper and how to use that and get that set up. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Do subscribe. If I get a load more subscribers, I'll start doing videos again happily as time allows. Anyway, thanks guys, and I'll see you soon.